What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Football Chatbox. My name is Ryan, and welcome to the Game Week 8 podcast. I'm joined by my co-host Rushant. Sorry for the technical difficulties, everyone, but I was just telling Rushant, maybe when we get a bit more of a bigger channel, maybe 10k plus subs or something, or YouTube advertising is paying well, we'll get each and every one of us some mics. But for now, we have to make do. So welcome everyone in the chat as well. Rush, how are you doing?
Yeah, going good. Yeah, I think we need more subs, we need more super chats, and keep sharing it, guys. Because the more subs we have, the better the quality of the audio would be,
Indeed,
and we can
exactly.
probably start on time for a change, right, Ryan?
Exactly.
The technical issues we have.
Yep. So obviously, do subscribe if you are new. Hit that like button as well. And if you want any questions, if you want to put super chats as well, feel free to. It's all open as well. So obviously, international break. Have you? Let's get to straight to chip questions because I'm thinking of playing my bench boost this week, which will be
Mm,
my second chip for the season. You've played your triple captaincy. You still have your wild card. Any thoughts
I
on
do.
when you're going to play?
No, not yet. I actually took a good break. I think international break. I took a good break as well.
Fair enough. That's what it's
Switch
there
off
for.
for the week,
Yeah.
reset. But no, not yet. I think my team's kind of well positioned. And before the break, I was looking at my team and probably needed a few more transfers. I think I missed out on the Arsenal defense, which I'm regretting it at the moment. But apart from that, really, I think I've got most of the players that I need for the upcoming schedule. And I think with just a few more transfers, I can probably get a template type team.
Mm.
Whether or not that involves a bench boost, probably not. I probably need to wildcard before I bench boost, or get a team that's a bit more. I don't think my team's ready for a bench boost just yet. But it's not looking too bad.
Fair enough. All right. So when we get to your teams, we'll go obviously a bit more in depth. But let's get straight into the fixtures. And first of all, the fixture ticker. Thanks to FPL SideNet Pete. I actually messaged him and I was like, "Oh, whenever you're free, let me know about updated graphics." So he'll be sending that over, where we'll be getting one from like game week 8 to like game week 16, I think, or 15. I asked him, because that's basically the where we get the 5 free transfers for AFCON. So I thought let's just get a ticker from now till then so that we can kind of focus on the fixtures between that gap at the moment. But for now, we still have his other one because it's still useful because it still has the next international break as well and goes until 13, which is where another wildcard window appears as well around that time period as well. So this is what we've got at the moment as things stand. Obviously 8, 9, 10, 11 is kind of what we want to focus on, but obviously keep in mind there are European games in the middle of 8 and 9, and in the middle of 10 and 11 as well. I don't know if 10 is a midweek fixture. I don't think so. Let me just quickly check because we're getting into the stage where we'll start hitting midweek fixtures as well very soon.
Hmm.
Let
Exciting time.
Yeah, I know. Exciting times, but also annoying times for me as deadline streams. uh,
That's right. Yeah.
no, it's not a midweek fixture, so we're still fine. Don't have to get up at early in the morning. As soon as soon as I say that, Rushant has traveled. He's gone out of
I
reach.
was just representing where the United players are probably at the moment.
I think we're too good to go to space. So yeah. All right. So that's a ticker at the things stand. Any teams kind of step popping out for you in terms of like players you would want to buy?
So I think Arsenal is probably the focus, right? I think that's where a lot is gonna sort of change, and they've had their average run of fixtures so far, and with injuries that they dealt with for the first few weeks. But I think they're going to be probably top at least for the next 4 to 5 weeks. Um, yeah, I think that's one. I think where going to be a priority add across the defense and maybe the midfield as well.
Yeah, fair enough. Along with Arsenal, obviously some of the other teams. Now, obviously Arsenal, like I said, Fulham, Crystal Palace, Burnley, and Sunderland. Obviously they're facing Crystal Palace, who've been on good form, but they're facing Crystal Palace after European game. And Palace, with their thin squad, don't have the same amount of depth, and they tend to tire out after a European game, which we noticed in the last week as well. Um,
Yep.
Apart from that, you also have the likes of West Ham, who are about to go on a pretty decent run. Brentford, Leeds, Newcastle, the only tough one, and Burnley in that 4 game week span. Spurs are about to get a tougher run of fixtures compared to the easier ones they had. you could say Aston Villa is not too bad still. And then Everton, Chelsea, and Man United, followed by Arsenal after that, after the international break as well. And then who else? Newcastle. Newcastle, another team that have some pretty decent 4 game week fixtures like Brighton, Fulham, West Ham, and Brentford. And they also have 2 European games at home, so no traveling as well, which kind of helps, to be
Mhm.
honest. So those
Yeah,
are some of the teams that kind of just, if people are looking to get in, those are some of the teams that stand out immediately.
definitely. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how they still. I mean, even though it's home games, how they rotate the squad.
Mm.
And whether the likes of Wissa is back and playing 90 minutes. Um,
The last I heard, apparently the injury was delayed, and he's probably not back until even the next international break.
oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, there we go then. So I guess yeah, then that's where I think managing the players that they have in the squad at the moment is going to be a key for them. But yeah, definitely it'll be a nice round of fixtures if as long as they can manage their European fixtures. Definitely good for Premier League.
yep, indeed. Um, all right. So, having said that, there was a question from Andy in terms of what about the ticker in terms of surprise or disappointment. So, yeah, I think we touched on a few teams. So, we go into the game week 8 fixtures because there's some good games this week. Now, this is the early market data. This is definitely bound to change because we're doing this on a Monday and things will change, injuries or whatever. International break is actually still ongoing, so things might change. Where come Saturday, this is slightly different. But as things stand, let's start. Obviously, the teams that kind of stand out are Man City in terms of goals for this week and clean sheet odds as well, and Liverpool for goals. And in terms of clean sheet odds, Arsenal stand out. You mentioned Arsenal defense. They stand up for 41% chance of clean sheet, and also a decent amount of goals as well this week. Um, and then you have Leeds and Sunderland, who for clean sheet stand out, which is why I'm thinking of bench boost this week because I've got some of those players on my bench this week. So yeah,
Yep.
any fixture that stands out or
Look, I think there's quite a few decent ones. I mean, the Liverpool United game should be a good one.
yeah.
Just to watch United get wrecked. Nah, I mean, I think it'll be good. I think United will actually give a good fight because Liverpool haven't been their best,
Hmm.
in my opinion. Like they've got the likes of Isaac now back and they're playing full time, but I think this could be a closer game than it looks. Still think Liverpool have the advantage, but United seem to have some surprises against some of the top teams at times. Um, Although in saying that, this could also be the game that Salah explodes, and it could be the game that Salah needs to
Yeah,
gain back his FPL
crown.
worthiness.
Yep. I mean, we've been talking about, oh, Salah, is he past it? Is it time to sell him, get Haaland in no matter what? And I always say, like, when it comes to play Man United, it's like the perfect game to give him some form, to be honest. Um, but like you said, I agree. Like Liverpool haven't been at their best. Obviously, they've lost their last couple of games as well. Haven't won in, quite a few. And I think I heard somewhere that Konate is also now picked up an injury during international break, which means I don't
Okay.
know who is going to partner Van Dijk in the centre back department because they don't really have depth in defense too much. That's the one thing they're kind of lacking. And I've mentioned it too many times. I feel like this Liverpool defense can be exploited.
Yeah, it can be and has been, right? Like
Yeah.
essentially we've seen it. Like it hasn't been to the previous season's level, nowhere close. They definitely the City have gotten off to a much better defensive start compared to Liverpool. Um, and I think, yeah, I just don't see. I know Van Dijk's been there and sort of ticking away with some def cons, and he's sort of a more preferable option now with the new scoring system. But you're not seeking out that right back or the full back of Liverpool, which we've traditionally done in the
Mm.
previous season when Trent was here and Robertson. It's not even there's way better options than pretty much every other team, right? So it kind of tells something that there's
Yeah, this.
fundamentally something wrong.
Yeah, and also like Liverpool have been changing their fullbacks. Like you never know who's going to be playing right back. Oh no, your camera
Sorry,
switch. There you go.
back.
You never know who's going to be playing right back.
Yep.
In this game, like if 1 week it's Burnley, sometimes it's like Sabos deputizing in right back. Sometimes you have Gravenberg at right back as well. So yeah, it will be interesting to see who actually plays that. And I guess from a United point of view, um, Cunha, I don't know if he'll start because Mason Mount is fit as well, and we've seen Amarim likes Mason Mount. So I won't be
Yep.
surprised if you have like a front three of Mount, Sesko, and Mbeumo, because I think you might need Mount's pressing in this game quite a lot.
Yeah, Mount's actually always been like a manager's favorite, right? Like
Yeah.
he's always been a hardworking, high work rate player. Just doesn't translate to any FPL worthiness. But on the field, he clearly seems to do things that makes the coaches and everyone happy, right? So I think that's where he sort of finds his value.
Yeah, that's the thing. So we're gonna have to hope that we'll see what United line up in terms of, but I think that's probably the front three that I'm expecting. It's going to be kind of a predictable United team, to be honest. It's just from Liverpool's perspective in terms of who they line up in attack. I don't know, because obviously Isak will probably start alongside Salah. It's just that left hand side whether Gakpo still continues or does Ekitike play. Because I think Ekitike is also suspended from Champions League because of the sending off. So how Slot manages minutes? Will he start Ekitike and bench Isak? I don't know.
I think that's probably the way, right? Just to rotate around this Champions League, and I think he's just coming off injury as well. They want to manage his minutes, and the fact that Ekitike is not even going to be playing Champions League for, is it 1 or 2 games?
I'm not sure, but like
Yeah,
he's definitely missing the next one. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Kind of. I mean, just to get through that week, he might start. Ekitike has actually been proving well. Like, he's proved that he's a worthy star, right? Like he got off to a flyer, and it'll be interesting how if he ever. I'm pretty sure this has been a conversation before. If will they ever fit in Ekitike and Isak in the same starting 11? It'll be interesting if that ever happens. And if it does, do we see a front three of Ekitike, Isak, and Salah?
I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what Slot comes up with this week. Yeah, and also whether he plays like a midfield 2 or midfield 3, because he's been. I guess one of the reasons for them getting exploited is also because they got pretty heavy up front and they've lost that midfield 3 and gone to a 2. So
Yeah.
that extra defensive cover that was given to the defense is no longer there with the 3 midfield. But we'll see what he does, because United this season have been decent in terms of attacking and creating chances. It's just that they haven't finished enough. That's one of the
Yeah,
issues.
we always high in the XG numbers, just
Yeah,
not in the actual goals.
yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing I have is obviously I've got Bruno Fernandes. A lot of other managers also have Bruno Fernandes, and it's a bit of a. It's so hard to know what to do with him, because at one point you could have said, oh, he could have scored like those 2 penalties that he missed, and even like the chance against Sunderland last week where the goalkeeper made an amazing save. Like you could be like 20 odd points higher than what you had. On the other hand, people like me who don't have Bruno Fernandes want to kind of go and get Saka, who has a really good game this week as well. So kind of unsure. I'm still leaning towards selling Bruno Fernandes probably in this game. It just kind of makes sense because of the fixture for Arsenal, but yeah, it's a tough one.
I think the benefit of like Salah not doing so well in the first 8 weeks has actually benefited the Bruno Fernandes owners, because that's where the differential could have gone wrong for United, for Bruno Fernandes owners, is that if you've got a team where you've got Haaland and Bruno, you most likely wouldn't have Salah, right?
Yeah,
Just depending on your funds, and yeah, and that's probably going to be the case the way you do, but that premium midfielder is going to be at the cost of another midfielder. And in this case, would it be most likely Salah if you've got the likes of Haaland and Gyökeres up front? And the fact that Salah hasn't really done much the last 8 weeks, it's kind of been neutral with Fernandes, right? Normally you see Salah outscoring and Bruno
yeah,
Fernandes blanking, but then also scoring and catching up. But I feel like they've both been sort of ticking
yeah.
along.
I guess the problem
They're
is for those
very,
who had both of them and not Haaland.
yeah.
It's even worse.
And then you have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, yeah.
Better sign up to your pod and
Make a
turn
change.
around now.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I probably still most likely end up selling. The quick question: do you think he loses penalties? Probably not, right? Oh,
I don't think so. I just think that he's just been, even when Ronaldo was here, that's where I sort of see the biggest, comparison is when Ronaldo was here and he was still on pens. So, if a player of Ronaldo's caliber is there in the team and you're still given pens, I don't think he's going to lose the likes of Mbeumo and Cunha. And he's team captain. He's Portuguese. A lot of things go his way, right? I think him missing a penalty or two, it doesn't override the fact that he's been consistently taking penalties really at a really high level for the last number of years.
Yeah, that's true. I probably agree on that one. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so I'm not too concerned about him losing pens. It's just more about its output. That's probably where I'll see the real focus is like, are they going to keep playing at the same level? And in which case, then it's cause for concern with you've got these other players not coming up with much better fixtures.
Yeah, that's the main thing because they're not converting their chances. Is why I'm like, and also because of that, Bruno Fernandes like he's not getting the returns as well. And then you go, ooh, Saka, better team, better fixtures now, kind of more tempting at the moment. So yeah,
Yeah, it
um,
was annoying. Like last week, my plan transfer was Salah to Saka.
yeah.
Um, didn't do it. I'm sitting here regretting it.
So
But
what are you? So are you looking at doing that move this week, or is it just that like Salah against United could become?
I think for me, my priority is getting in. I have zero Arsenal players, so I need to get in one defender in, definitely. Whether or not that involves me selling Salah for funds is a different question. And in that, it might be Salah goes away, in place for Saka and double up in Arsenal transfers in.
Hmm.
But yeah, there's still a few more days to go. I have to just keep thinking about it. But potentially, that's probably potential for me a way to get in my Arsenal defender in might involve selling Salah.
Yeah, fair enough. And also, obviously, if we still have more of the international break to go, so anything can happen, injuries and whatnot. So we'll have to wait and see till the last minute.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right, so we touched on Arsenal, so let's go to Arsenal because they are playing Fulham. They've got a pretty good XG for this week, and also in terms of clean sheet as well. Obviously,
Mm.
Gabriel is doing really well in terms of their defense. They've got a stacked defense as well, to be honest. So they got plenty of depth in their defense. I'm expecting Timber to also still probably start over Ben White. I think Ben White could potentially play some of the Champions League games instead.
Yeah.
Because I think the focus should be on the league for Arsenal at the moment, at least until they hold this lead at the moment in the league. Um, Up front, obviously, Gyökeres kind of will start because they don't really have a different replacement that can play in the spot until Havertz is back. Um, the question is now, obviously, Odegaard is back injured, which means Eze will continue to most likely play, probably alongside Zubimendi and Declan Rice potentially, with what do you call Saka on the right and on the left. I don't know, Trossard or Martinelli, depends on how they
Yeah.
approach it. Um, how do you see this game going? Do you think Fulham at home could put up a fight or?
Look, I think Arsenal. I still favor Arsenal for the game, and I think we saw it last season as well, where we saw the loss for Rodri, how bad Rodri was to City
Mm,
versus same time where Odegaard was still out, but Arsenal kept winning.
mm.
So I don't think like how important Rodri was to City. I don't think Odegaard is as important.
No, and his last season he wasn't on that great form as well.
He wasn't. No. So I think the key here again is probably Saka being back. I think that will be a huge boost. Gyökeres probably will be elevated as well with Saka's return, which I think will be good. And like you said, there's no other choice. They have to play Gyökeres up front, so
Mm,
he's kind of a lock. And yeah, you're right. Left will probably be the Trossard Martinelli swap, depending on who starts, and probably get about 50 to 60 minutes each, or whatever, depending on the rotation. But I think the biggest benefactor here would be Eze.
mm.
Um, and especially now that that position is gone, he'll probably be playing every game and starting every game, which will be good. At that price point, he's a pretty good pick. He's shown so much so quickly already in a new team. He's stepped up and delivered. So I think he's also a good differential. I know everyone's going to be focused on Gabriel and Saka, but I think there's a lot of value in Eze, and he could be an interesting pick,
Mm.
especially as long as Odegaard is out.
The other one is Declan Rice, who takes a lot of the set pieces as well. Like he's taken a lot of corners as well from one
Hmm.
side, and has the occasional knack for like DEFCON as well potentially. Um,
Yeah.
Slightly
Does he
more.
get DEFCON? Does he get much DEFCON?
Sometimes, depending on game. If it's like a hard game where they end to end, then yes. Otherwise, not really. But
Yeah.
because of the amount of set pieces he takes as well, there's a chance of some potential assist points sometimes.
Yeah.
And he tends to
Well,
find his
price, and it's pretty cheap as well, isn't he? Like what,
like 6.5 or
5.5,
something. Yeah,
6.5, yeah.
yeah. So he tends to find like the back of the net as well. Like he gets into spots in the box where he can get
Yeah.
a goal or two.
I think if I was, if Salah was in my team and if I had like money was an issue,
Mm.
I definitely would consider someone like that. But I think at this current stage, there it doesn't feel like you need that dollar value. Apart from Haaland, even Joker is probably isn't essential. And then where you've got so much money to play around with, right? I think you probably focus on a Gabriel Raya. We haven't talked about Raya as well. And then Eze, Saka. I think Rice is probably fifth or even sixth, after Gyökeres in the pecking order. So I think for me, Rice would be a budget depending on team values, and he might be a fifth midfielder or sixth midfielder, like a fourth midfielder, depending. And I don't see him as essential just yet, just because of where he plays.
Yeah,
I
fair
think there's
enough.
much better options in Arsenal.
Yeah. Now you obviously mentioned Jokeres. Uh, I mean the fixtures are there, but it's frustrating to own when you have on the other side you've got like the likes of Waltemada, who's getting returns now. I mean even if you take Sesko, he's got a couple of returns in the last couple of weeks as well. Um, and you have Jokeres, who's way more expensive, and we're still waiting for some returns.
But do you trust Gyökeres for the next 4 weeks fixtures, or do you trust Sesko?
Oh no, I probably would trust Gyökeres for the
No.
next four. But
Yeah,
I guess the other question is like when you compare Gyökeres to a Voltemade or even Gyökeres to like a Mateta, who Mateta has been struggling to score in the last couple of weeks. To be honest, like he every week I watch, I'm like, how is this man not scored? To be
yeah,
honest, but like that's where I'm probably going to compare. I mean, Sesko could enter that conversation, just not at the moment. Until I see United like actually clicking, probably not.
yeah, yeah. No, no, I don't think Sesko's in my radar at all. Like he's
Fair
not in
enough.
my radar. I think there's even probably DCL's probably above Sesko at the
Oh,
moment.
maybe even Jared Bowen. To be honest, with West Ham's fixtures improving.
Sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's, I think, a lot more players than Sesko. I don't even know why we're spending so much
I
time
don't know.
talking about
Anyways,
Sesko
I just
here.
thought I mentioned it because he scored 2 goals in the last. That's why.
Yeah, in bias theory, right, at the
Yeah.
moment.
But like, yeah,
But
would
no,
you
look, I think
stick with?
Arsenal should be fine that
Yeah.
game. I don't see many Fulham. I mean, just talk about FPL. Like, I don't like. There's probably a couple of
Um,
defenders that's been lingering around at 4 million or 4.5. But
I guess
yeah,
Anderson defensively, but the thing with
yeah,
Fulham is, both Jimenez and Muniz were injured last week, so you probably had to wait and see if either one of them will be back this week. Because if
yeah,
not, like that Arsenal clean sheet looks even better. If not, that's the thing.
definitely.
Yeah. All right, we'll move over to the starting fixtures: Forest versus Chelsea, because there's another cheap enabler there. There are a couple of cheap enablers. First of all, do you think Ange can finally get something?
Well, what if he gets fired again from this team? That'd be so funny, right? Like in the same season, getting fired from two league
I mean,
teams.
yeah, like I don't know what is like. I don't expect him to win this game, but
No,
I mean,
I'm so surprised how the XG is so high for Forrester.
that's true. Maybe they just go because it's like Chelsea defensively haven't been that great, and to be honest,
Yeah,
they've been conceding a few red cards as well recently, so that's why. Um, but it's not looking good for Ange though.
no, God no. I mean, I was more confident. I started off with Nico Williams in the
Yeah,
beginning of the season, and I was pretty pumped about it. Moment Ange came in, I dropped him. I'm
yeah,
like,
fair enough.
he's gotta go. He's gotta go. So yeah, I mean, look, it'll be interesting. I think he needs time. Like, he did well with Spurs after a while. He also needed the right players to change into his system, which I think with the
I don't.
likes of Chris Wood,
Yeah,
like it's gonna be hard with how he plays.
I don't know if he'll get
No,
the time though. That's the problem.
nah, that's the thing. That's the thing. He might get fired twice in 2 seasons. You never know.
Yeah,
Same season. But no, it'll be interesting to see. I feel like they will be more attack minded. But in saying that, Forest were fine. Like they were flowing through Chris Wood last season anyway beforehand. So, like who else will step up in this Forest attack? They got to convert these fullbacks into attacking wing backs, and it'll be hard. Like it'll be interesting to see how they develop. I just
mm,
think it'll take some time throughout the season for us to see a change. It's not going to happen, this
yeah,
week.
fair enough. And injuries as well at the moment under Ange, they tend to get
Definitely.
quite a few. Yeah.
Yep.
Chelsea on the other hand, so Enzo was someone I was looking at, potentially for this week in terms of like changing things a bit, because I had like Xavi Simons. I was like, I should have just gone Kudus. If I didn't go, because I didn't go Kudus, I'm like, okay, I had Xavi Simons is a problem right now. I was thinking of getting Enzo. Now, obviously, Enzo went for international duty to for Argentina, and then apparently their match got rescheduled, and he was supposed to come very late. But now
Oh,
he's withdrawn from the Argentina squad due to a knee issue.
oh,
Now there I'm like, who now do I really go Enzo, because it's a good fixture for Chelsea attacking wise, and Chelsea's fixtures are also not too bad. They're improving actually, to be honest, the next couple. So I'm now wondering whether I'll probably wait till the press conference, see what Maresca says, and then decide whether to go for Enzo, because until Palmer is back, he's probably the one on pens as well.
yeah. Do you know
Um,
when Palmer's back?
no ETA at the
Yeah.
moment. He like
Yeah.
apparently when he was involved in the celebrations last week, he it looked like he injured himself even further. So,
Oh my God.
um,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I
Yeah,
probably
I don't know. For me, I'm just staying out of this. Like Enzo looked good. I think in the price point, you're right. As in, especially as long as Palmer is out.
hmm,
But I think I'm staying away from that. For me, I think I've got João Pedro, and I'll keep him for as long as I need to. Because at least he's one player who will play.
hmm,
Uh, until it comes to the point where if I do decide to wildcard or get rid of bring in Walter Mata, um, I'm not rushing to get Enzo at the moment.
yep, fair enough.
Um, but yeah, team dependent, right?
Yeah, true. I mean, like you mentioned, João Pedro, he's also suspended from Champions League, so he's not going to go as well. So which is fine, because the next week that I think they have Sunderland. After that, Chelsea. Yes, they have Sunderland, which is why I was
Yeah.
thinking of Enzo, because of the Forest.
It's
Yeah,
Sunderland, Wolves, and then Burnley, right?
yeah.
Am I reading
There's
that
Spurs
right?
as
Yeah.
well. So Sunderland, Spurs, Wolves, and Burnley. I mean, a
Yeah.
pretty good run for Chelsea, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
So, yeah, I think that's target. I mean, great if Palmer's back,
Mm,
but unfortunately, it doesn't look like. I mean, depending on the
I don't
injury,
trust
yeah,
his fitness at the moment, Palmer's.
yeah,
So yeah,
that's the issue. That's the issue.
yeah. So yeah, Chelsea. That's basically. I don't trust Chelsea's defense. So I'm not probably going there anyway.
You're not worried about Reece James?
No, I had Kukurea at one point, and to be honest,
Yeah,
I got a few returns here and there,
yeah,
but
not consistent.
not consistent. Yeah, like they like last season there was a bit more consistent in terms of Kukurea's returns and all, but this season it's just like the value isn't there.
Yeah, I still got Sanchez, and I'm just like taking 1 pointers and 2 pointers. So I need to definitely
Yeah,
consider some changes there.
yeah. We'll move to Brighton versus Newcastle now. Newcastle playing well. Brighton also not too bad, to be honest.
Hmm.
The only thing is that you never know what you're gonna get from Brighton at the moment. They're so inconsistent. Um, so
As they
as
have been the last few seasons, right?
yeah,
Like they've been always like competing really well against some of the top teams, but yeah, like just they go through. I feel like they go through waves
mm,
where they might win a couple of games in a row, and then suddenly like one game might be like a 5-1, 6-1, and the next game is like they lose 3-0, right? So it's hard to predict with Brighton. But they do have some good quality players, and they have last number of years. Defense has been an issue, I think, this season. I'm just not super confident and comfortable with their clean sheet potential, which is typically where you lean towards your Brighton defenders, because there's
yeah,
always some nice price points. But
not
yeah,
this
this
season.
season hasn't been. I don't think I've owned a single Brighton player this season.
Yeah, yeah, true. And then you have Newcastle who are on some really good form. People are looking to get Newcastle players, so obviously their defense is not too bad because it's been pretty solid this season. Their defense.
Yeah.
So the likes of Pope, Dan Burn, um, who else? I guess you could also have Livramento potentially now because oh no, not Livramento, he's injured.
Trippier?
Trippier, potentially. The only thing with Trippier is like, will he get rested occasionally here and there? But Trippier, because of the lack of Livramento this season, could become an option.
Yeah.
And then obviously you have Walter Mata up front on form. Anthony Gordon is the other one. If you're looking for like a midfielder who's on pens, I know Walter Mata took the pen, but that was because Gordon wasn't there on the pitch at that time. The only thing with Gordon is if he's not involved in the game, then it's a bit of an issue. Like last week, he wasn't as much involved. So, which is why I still like Walter Mart as like the Newcastle's pick, because they seem to be finding like they're using his height pretty well, like 2 headed goals as well. So he's pretty good in terms of what he's doing at the moment.
I think definitely he's good option. I wouldn't discount Anthony Gordon because I feel like he's like I watched the first few games of the season before he got injured or red carded or whatever it was,
Suspended red
and
card, yeah.
he was looking good. Like he was looking really sharp, and I think first season without Isaac, the whole transition felt like it was flowing through him before Walter joined.
Mm.
So it takes a whole team, right? It can't just be Walter. Someone needs to feed it to him. Someone needs to have some
Yeah,
other
that's the thing.
attacking form. I don't think. Yeah, I'm just waiting to. I'm just sitting and waiting for Gordon to explode. I think there's some positive coming from him.
Yeah.
Especially when the fixtures kind of turn for Newcastle, which is
Mm.
kind of now. I expect some good things from Gordon this season. I don't know why. I just have a gut feeling.
All right, fair enough.
Um,
One to
and
watch out
he's a
for.
good at a good price point as well. I think he's yeah, definitely one to watch out for.
Mm. All right, moving on. Burnley versus Leeds. Burnley's defense has been pretty poor this season. Leeds actually not too bad, but Leeds generally I prefer them at home versus away. But this is as close to a decent fixture I'm going to get for my bench boost, to be honest. So I have Rodman. Roden. I'm happy to
Mm.
play him, to be honest. There's been a lot of talk about Calvert-Lewin, and then obviously there's been talk about Stark in midfield. Sean Longstaff then decides to pop off the next week, and then the week after, when you have talk about Sean Longstaff, they have
Mm.
Okafor who scores the goal. So they got quite a few different goal scorers,
Yeah,
except for Calvert-Lewin so far. But
yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, look, let's not get too excited about these players from this team, right? Like, like I don't like. This is there's some nice hope at
Yeah,
times. Like, I think Stark look good. Like, he's on set pieces as well, right?
yeah,
He's taking
yeah,
set pieces and he's priced well. Yeah, I just don't think you need to go so crazy. Definitely from where they're priced, you can definitely pick up a few players, and you'll be benching them most weeks. I've got Rodin as well. I've got Estev as well.
uh,
As a $4 million, getting some sneaky def cons. But yeah, Calvert-Lewin, he's always a trap, right? Like we feel like he's
keep
always
saying
there,
yeah.
teams. Doesn't do much. I'm hoping he turns it around, for his sake. He's a good player. He's just
I I mean,
probably
he's got quality. The problem is I can't rely on his fitness.
no. Uh, that's the issue, right? And kind of, I don't even know how old is he? Is he old? I don't even know if he's like what mid.
Uh, I mean,
Am
I
I
can
just,
check, but like, yeah,
he's just been playing for a long time where I think he's feels old.
he is Calvert-Lewin is 28 actually.
28?
Yeah,
My God.
he's been
Yeah,
playing for a
okay.
long time. It's just that his fitness isn't that great, sadly.
Yeah. Yeah. He doesn't look like a 20-year-old, right?
No.
Like he runs like a yeah. But look, I mean, like I'm not going crazy. I probably even if I have him, I'm not starting him every week. We talked about some of the options already, and I'm sure we'll talk about a few more
Yeah.
better forward options.
Yep.
I'm not rushing. I think for me, like I'm at the point where I'll have a Leeds player in my bench, start as an option. If this game will be good. I think if money is an issue and you're planning to wildcard at some point, I think definitely targeting Leeds is good. And like you said, you do prefer a home game, but I still think this is a good fixture for
Yep.
Leeds.
Fair enough. Burnley only to Bravka. That's it. To be honest, nothing else. Yeah. All right, we'll move to the next game. Crystal Palace versus Bournemouth. The only team I have
Mm.
tripled up on this season is Bournemouth, who are on some insane form. Sadly, Petrovic has lost his clean sheets that he's been getting recently. But Semenyo, oh my days, that man is on some incredible form. And then Senesi generally tends to get DEFCON. Last game he missed it out, but I'm expecting the way Palace play that he'll get some DEFCON. And talking about DEFCON, Palace defense, they've been racking up DEFCON like crazy recently. This week they should be fine because it's not a European. It's not after a European game, so I'm expecting Palace to play well as because they're at home as well. Mateta, I mean, for the first half he's actually amazing. After that, I think he gets a bit tired as well. And this is where you probably will start to see Nketiah getting back in and playing a bit more games and
Yeah.
potentially rotating, which might be a bit of a worry if you're looking to own Mateta. Ismail Sado, back fit, getting some returns, attacking returns, a couple of assists. He's also someone else that I considered. So instead of going Enzo, you can go Ismail Sarr as well because they have very similar price points.
I like Saar way better than Enzo. I think that's all the reasons why we talked about Mateta. He has glimpses and moments, but fitness has been the issue. And I think with the European fixtures as well, it's going to be interesting how he is going to be able to play 90 minutes every game. I don't see that being actually happening. But yeah, I mean, good point you mentioned about the Palace defense because it has been very underrated. I think they've been recognized as defensive contributions, but they should be having way more clean sheets than they actually have so far. But I think their defense is up there, and I think they're going to continue doing well defensively. So I'm looking at some of the past defenders as well as a sneaky ad because I don't think there's any individual players that stand out, but generally speaking, their depth count is up there, and there's a very high clean sheet potential. In saying that, probably not this game.
Probably
Because
not this game.
and the monster Semenyo, and yeah, how good has he been, huh? It's
Is insane. Like when like the first game as well last week, and I know there were managers on here who actually captained Semenyo. Now I don't know if it was Mikel who captained Semenyo. He's on the chat as well.
oh,
Let me check again.
good job,
Uh,
Mikel.
yeah, but like oh my days, what a haul! He's been on insane form. Yes, it was actually Mikel who's in the chat who actually uh, captained Semenyo and got some amazing returns, and he's wondering whether he should captain Semenyo again this week.
Well, I mean, look, the form is telling us, it's not a bad shout. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm nervous about it, but
It's a slightly tougher fixture though. Palace are a good
it will
team.
be. Yeah, it will be.
Yeah,
But you never know. Football is so complicated.
yeah, true.
This might be the game that Semenyo just goes and breaks Palace's good defensive record, right? We just
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah, fair enough. The other one, Palace defense, you mentioned. I think Guehi is someone who's very nice and a defender. He's had a good
Yeah,
international break as well. Getting attacking
Lacroix as
returns as
well.
well.
Lacroix.
Yeah, and Lacroix as well. Yes, those two are really good. Richards is the cheaper option, but in terms of attacking returns, potentially like Lacroix and Guehi would also offer you slightly
Yeah.
more.
And Gay's actually only 4.9 as well. Like he's not,
Yes.
his price point isn't like that crazy for what he's delivering.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I think it's probably just fixtures for Palace, right? I just
It's a mixed bag of fixtures there
yeah,
right now. So they improve in game week 10 onwards because this week they have Bournemouth, next week they have Arsenal.
Arsenal.
And like we mentioned, like after Europe, they're going to struggle. So against Arsenal, they're going to struggle a bit, I would say. They're not going to have much of the ball.
Yeah, and that's where I think, they've actually done well against some of these teams. But that fixture run not being super favorable,
Yeah.
it kind of is the
It's like game week 10.
disincentive to bring players in from
Yeah.
the defense.
The defense maybe, yeah. I think you wait for the defense a bit more if you're going to
Yeah,
wait. But Ismail Sarr is not too bad because against the tougher teams, even they'll counter and he could get something.
correct.
Yes.
Exactly.
All right, Man City versus Everton. Unfortunately, Jack Grealish is not available because he's on loan, so he can't play in this game. But Drewsbury Hall is back from his suspension and should be available to play in this game. Endai, now he got another return penalties this time, scored a goal, got a
Sure.
managed to get a bonus point as well, even with the yellow card. Um, I mean, part of me was thinking of dropping Endai and like doing like this is where like a massive switch in terms of like getting someone better for the bench boost. But I mean, I don't mind Endai this week as well, to be honest, against City because City's defense, even though it shows 46% clean sheet chance, they haven't been the most solid in defense, or doesn't fill me with enough confidence that they'll be extremely solid, like Arsenal, for example.
Yeah, nowhere close. The only bright spot I would say in City is Donnarumma.
Mm.
I think he is just taking this whole like tenth by storm, and he's been very good. I've been looking at some of the highlights, and he's been playing at like an insane level.
It's a good showstopper.
So that's where I think, yeah, I don't think this is going to be a reason to drop NDI, but I think, yeah, I'm keeping him as well. I've got him on my team. I have no plans to get rid of him in the short term, at least not for a transfer or for a hit. There's much more pressing players and other fires to put out.
Yep.
But Will he last in a wild card? Probably not.
No.
Just all depends on the team. But
Yeah.
you've got him. There's no reason to get rid of him.
Yeah.
Just,
I've got Tarkovsky as well in this game. I mean, he'll get some defcon, that's for sure.
it's insane.
I would like a bullet header from him if possible, but unlikely.
That's interesting. I think this DEFCON has actually been really good for FPL and also for football in general because I think a lot of these players who were super undervalued in previous seasons, their values now shot up because of DEFCON. Right? Like we've known how good of a defense Everton have been in the past. Captaincy has been great, but now you're actually seeing it in FPL, which
Yeah.
makes him an even more better option where you're bringing him not just for the double game weeks or for like a good fixture run,
Yeah.
but you're bringing him purely because he's a good defender.
Yeah. Yeah. True. And you get some returns regardless. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's been good.
And then talking about City, another man on form, Erling Haaland. I think he also has decided to leave international duty early. I think it might have been a discussion with the club just to come back and just rest. So it's going to be fully rested ahead of this game as well.
Yeah.
He's on some insane form as well.
Yeah, form is crazy. Automatic start for this week. Interesting question to you. So, they've got Villa away, Bournemouth in 10, Liverpool and Newcastle.
Mm-hmm.
On paper, they're all hard fixtures.
Mm.
Is that stopping you from captaining Haaland for those game weeks?
Oh, maybe not Villa. Villa, I think I'll still captain him because of the way Villa are playing right now. Bournemouth in 10. Who else has like good fixtures in that week? I mean, Arsenal have Burnley. If you have Saka by then, Saka could be one case. But just the way Haaland is playing, yeah, potentially. You might risk it on
Yeah.
Saka, potentially, to be honest.
Yeah. And then they play Liverpool in 11.
Yeah, in 11. That's why Saka has Sunderland. But
Yeah.
I should give credit to Sunderland. They've been pretty good this season. So in that specific situation, I don't know. You probably who does? Yeah, I mean Semenyo has Aston Villa. I don't know. You probably go if you have Jared Bowen, Burnley again, targeting Burnley.
But I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking like I still feel like he'll be the most captain though, don't you think?
Probably, yeah.
I mean, all this,
I mean,
in
especially
play.
the way Liverpool's defense is currently,
Oh,
probably.
yeah. So can't tell that he's essential, right? Like you
Yeah.
cannot get it in. He's got to be.
Yep. I mean, definitely. The other question is Reinders. Now he started off well, got some
Yeah.
returns, and then obviously has kind of died down a bit recently. The only thing with Reinders is you're getting good enough minutes from him and predictable starts, whereas you can't say that for the rest of City's attack, to be honest.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I mean, like for me, I think Reinders is like he's at such a cheap price point, and he's had the fixtures. I brought him in. He's there. Now these next 4 game weeks after this Everton game, if you're wildcarding in, I'm probably not going to bring him in. Haaland,
yeah,
yes, but I don't see the need to bring in Reinders.
yeah, fair enough. There are like other midfielders who are performing as well.
Correct, and I know he's only 5.7 or 5.9 something, but I don't see him as being essential, especially if you're wildcarding this week or next week.
Yeah. I probably agree with that. Yeah, fair enough. All right, so that's City. Let's move over to Sunderland versus Wolves. Sunderland have been playing well. Wolves, on the other hand, slightly mixed bag in terms of their results. But they have slightly improved after putting Johnston in goal compared to Josisa. At least defense has gotten slightly better. But Sunderland are pretty good so far this season.
Yeah, I don't think any of the players in any of those teams excite me too much for FPL purposes.
Only the defense for Sunderland for Defcon. That's it.
Yeah, that's right. Like, they've got some cheap, right? It's an Alderate,
Yeah.
Alderate.
Alderete, Mukiele. I mean, it's like a European backline. That is, to be honest.
Yeah. And what about Isidore, the striker?
I mean, the thing with Sunderland and their attack is that trying to figure out who's going to score is the issue.
Yeah.
Because they have Mayanda, Isidore. Like, either one of them can actually play and then get a goal. That's similar to Leeds, where they have quite a few different players who can get a return. It's just like trying to
Yeah.
pick the correct one is a bit hard.
Yeah, exactly. I think the safest option probably seems to be Granit Xhaka, right? For defensive contribution.
Yeah, probably if you want like a cheap midfielder. Yeah.
Yeah.
But even then, I still probably like even Caicedo. I might be more leaning towards Caicedo if that's the case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So maybe
think
just
that's
defense.
I'm staying away from, even though I think there's that we talked about the 4 middle option. I think it's just that Alderete or Mukiele ahead of Roden or Estev,
Yeah.
that fifth midfielder spot. That's probably the only appeal in Sunderland. Attack, I just
Yeah. Nah.
not playing anyone close this game.
Yeah.
But it'll be an interesting game. I mean, hard to predict who's going to win this game.
I mean,
We need to the
I'm
home team, I
hoping
guess.
that they keep a clean sheet and get some DEFCON. That's what I want from Sunderland because I'm bench boosting. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Wolves. I mean, Wolves. They've improved a bit more, but still need a long way to go.
Nah, yeah, I'm staying with my rules. Like, there's nothing that's telling me, no one's showing any positive signs.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yep.
it's a wait and watch for Wolves at this point.
Yep. Fair enough. All right.
Are the Buenos brothers?
Who?
There's two Buenos in Wolves.
Uh.
There's a Hugo Bueno and there's also a
Oh, I don't know.
Santiago
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Bueno.
yeah. Are they brothers? I don't know. Maybe.
One man.
I don't know.
Maybe
Anyways,
someone in the chat can confirm it.
yeah. We'll see. All right, so we move over to we spoke about Arsenal already, so let's move to Spurs versus Villa. You have Kudus loving life with the Kudus returns.
Loving life, loving life. Well, I mean,
Um,
I didn't love it for the last 3 games, but like I loved it now this game week.
yeah, fair enough.
It's been-
I've got Javi Simmons wishing I never went there, because he gets subbed off as well pretty early, which is annoying. So I probably, even though they have 1.9 expected goals here, I might potentially look at maybe removing him just because he doesn't get enough minutes. And then I might even go Ismail Sarr, even though Ismail Sarr is supposed to potentially get less. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, like to be honest, like apart from Kudus is like, that was his first goal last
Yeah,
week,
that's
right?
right. He's more of a creator than a attacker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But although in saying that, I know it was the game before he hit the crossbar and
Yes, that was a
oh,
Javi Simmons cross, which should
oh,
have.
yeah. So they're definitely creating chances, and yeah, at that price point, not too bad. At least for Kudus, I'm talking about Kudus, not Javi Simmons specifically. Um, I'm keeping him, I think, for the time being. Like, I
Yeah.
don't see any reason because there's 3 out of the next 4 home fixtures. Villa, Chelsea, and United for the Arsenal game. In a wild card, potentially he goes out, I think. Um, but he's
Yeah.
at a good price point and he's playing 90 minutes, like,
Yeah. I don't see any reason why you would want to remove Kudus because
no.
he plays 90 minutes. That's the other thing. Like
Yeah,
Javi Simmons doesn't do that. That's the thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The defense though, I think you can look to sell now because the fixtures are getting worse for them. To be
Yes.
honest, Aston Villa on the other hand, honestly, I don't even know like the form with Villa is in. Obviously, Morgan Rogers has now he's done his trolling and now he's getting some points recently. But like, I think Aston Villa I would probably avoid until they get into form, or at least I
Oh,
feel
no,
like
and
they
plus
could.
they have the worst fixtures next 3 games. They got Spurs away, City home, and Liverpool away.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So you're not bringing any Aston Villa players at least for
Probably
the next
so.
3 games.
Yeah.
After that, I mean, from 11 onwards, their fixtures kind of turn.
Yeah.
You've got
I mean,
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth, Leeds, and Wolves. It's good after the international break. Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree with that. But for the moment, you probably look to
no,
sell. Yeah. Okay.
definitely. I'm not. I mean, not even about selling. Like, yeah, selling. If you got Watkins, like, do you keep him? It's
Go Waltmart if you wanted to. To be honest, Watkins is a troll.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I just they don't fill me with confidence at the moment. That's the thing. All right.
And Rogers is priced at a weird price point as well. Like the
Yeah.
7 million, 6.97 million. It's like, he has to be your third midfielder essentially, right? Like,
Mm,
hard to have him as your fourth. I don't know.
no.
Weird price point in my opinion.
Yeah. Anyways, not justifying the price at the
No.
moment. Yeah. Final game. West Ham versus Brentford. West Ham, Jared Bowen mainly. I mean, Diouf has been getting some attacking returns. He's been one of the more like in terms of attacking fullbacks, he's been up there. It's just
Yeah,
that West Ham's defense hasn't been fully reliable. But now that
yeah,
Nuno has had a bit more time, maybe we could see a tiny bit of improvement. We'll see. We'll have to wait and see, obviously.
could be. But I think I like Doof for these attacking potential, right? Four
Yeah,
assists in 7 games, and the fixtures turn, right? Like we said, we got Brentford, Leeds, Newcastle, Burnley home. Um, he's only 4.4, right? And I think if you want to bring in the likes of the other players we talked about as an enabler, I'm more than happy having him in my team.
yeah, and but like we know Nuno's style would be in improving the defense first as well. So with these fixtures, they should hopefully like improve. Brentford, on the other hand, I mean Brentford, there are like a few players like Thiago has been pretty good in terms of his attacking potential recently.
Yep.
And he takes pens as well, so like he's a decent option. But I would still favor West Ham in this game. I think they should be able to comfortably win this game, most likely.
Yeah, yeah. What are your thoughts on Paqueta?
He's also another nice differential. So like you're talking about, like we've spoken about Ismail Sarr, we've spoken about Enzo. Paqueta is also like one of those very nice differentials.
Hmm.
And the fixtures are there again in that and he's also on pens, which Ismail Sarr isn't. So I mean,
Huge.
you would say Paqueta probably has a more easier game than Ismail Sarr this week potentially.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, definitely. I think even the same for next as well, right? Leeds away and then the Burnley home.
Yeah. So
He's probably going to be in wildcard teams,
yeah,
in my opinion.
yeah. I don't mind him, to be honest, as an option as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. That's basically it for the fixtures. Anything else to add? Oh, captaincy, Haaland.
Yeah, probably.
Uh,
Salah, if it feels a bit wild.
yeah,
Nah.
honestly, I put him. Salah against United, generally, he just tends to do well. We no longer have Wan-Bissaka as well, who's back again for West Ham. Actually, I should mention he's available.
He's the biggest troll, in my opinion.
Yeah, but like Salah, Haaland. I mean, Mikel is favoring the Semenyo option as well. I think, to be honest,
Yeah,
I
Bill
would all.
Mikel, really, definitely something to think about.
Yeah, I would also say Saka is not too bad, and if Saka delivers,
Hmm.
when you ask the game week 10 and game week 11 questions,
Yeah,
like Saka could become the main captaincy that week if he does well in like these next two.
yeah, especially if his injury and he's not injured and he's back in full fitness.
Yeah,
Yeah, Saka's going to be essential, I think, in those weeks.
yeah. So we'll see how we go. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's captaincy. Rush, this is your team at Saints Thanks. So I'll read it out for the audio people. So 68 points to Bravka, Van de Ven, Senesi, Konsa, Reinders, Sala, Endai, Kudus, Semenyo, Haaland, and Joe Pedro. On the bench, you have Sanchez, Roden, Marque, and Esteve. What's the
yeah, pretty
plan?
awful, man.
What's the plan?
Yeah, like you said, there's no red and white jersey here. That's the problem. So I need to. I think I've got 2 free transfers.
Mm,
Whether or not activate wildcard or whether or not just delay that to one more week. I've got to have a think about it.
mm.
But yeah, the plan is to bring in some Arsenal players. In what shape, form, not sure yet.
Konsa
Uh,
might make way potentially.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Konsa might wait. Even Van de Ven make way as
Yeah.
well. And then yeah, the other big question is Salah. That's probably where I need to clear some funds as well, right? So
Mm.
yeah, it'll be interesting. Yeah, I'm not too. I think like I got the Bournemouth cover. I got the City cover for this week. So I'm not too fussed about this week specifically, but definitely need to think about, and with my wildcard and bench boost in play, I need to think about when I'm going to play those chips. So
Yeah, fair enough. I think if you're
yeah.
looking for a bench boost, next week is also another bench boost potential week.
Hmm.
Because Esteve and Roden will be having some decent fixtures as well for that specific week.
Yep.
So that's another week you could consider. It's just that you have Mark Q, who's not going to get much there. That's the thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
All right. And then I've got my team. This was the game week 6 wildcard team. So 70 points. Petrovic in goal. Tarkowski, Senesi, Gabriel. Xavi, Reinders, Bruno, Semenyo, and Dai. Haaland and Gyökeres. On the bench, I have Dubravka, Joe Pedro, Mukiele, and Roden. So I will be bench boosting this week just because I have Roden and Mukiele. That's one of the reasons, and Dubravka. So I had 3 free transfers. So I was thinking of Bruno and Javi out to Saka, and have to think about who that other midfielder is going to be. Like we spoke about a few, like Enzo, Ismail Sarr, Paqueta. So there are a few different midfielder options. I just don't know which one to go for.
Yeah.
And like I was thinking, even with like the third free transfer I had, whether I wanted to remove Endai as well and get one of the other midfielders, like out of those midfielders we were talking. But I don't know. Maybe I could just hold on to Endai for the moment as well.
Yeah.
Because I think he has Sunderland next week or something like that. I don't know. Like the week after.
I think so.
Everton have. Oh no, they have Spurs and then Sunderland in game week 10. So, I mean, Spurs is not too bad from a fixture, but yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'll have to wait and see in terms of that. To be honest, as things stand. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. That's basically all we have for today. In terms of the chat, obviously, Mikel, we've already mentioned about him. Andy, who's having a really good season, he took a -20 on a bench and bench boosted, and he's like at like 200k or something right now. He basically used the bench boost as a wild card.
Wow.
So he's doing pretty well, to be honest, as well. And there's others as well. Shout out to Freddie and Muhin as well in the chat. So that's today's podcast. We'll be having team selection potentially on a Wednesday. I'll do team selection stream on a Wednesday. And then obviously deadline stream on the Saturday. Potentially a wildcard draft as well for anyone who's wildcarding. That might come out as well this week. Anything else to add, Rushant?
No, not yet. I think just wait and watch for closer to the deadline before you're making any transfers, because you just never know with the international break, and we always know that things can go wrong. So yeah, if you can be patient, wait till the deadline day or close enough, and yeah, watch Ryan's deadline stream, and they'll give you a bit more tips
Yep,
on
or
what.
leaks, whichever we get.
Yeah,
Yep.
that'll be good, huh? Some
Yep.
leaks.
Indeed. So yeah, make sure if you reached up to this point to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button as well. And if you're listening on the audio, leave us a 5-star review, or just press the 5-star button on Spotify and follow us as well. Thank you all for watching. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and thank you to Rush as well. And we'll see you all later.
See you guys. Good luck.